Hello and welcome our beloved viewers to RTD's News English edition. As usual, we'll begin tonight's news with the major and top highlights. Let's follow. Enthronement of the 34th Sultan in Tajarrah. Increase in cases in the capital of Kampala in Uganda in the international scene. Those were our major and top highlights. Welcome back to our newsroom, our beloved viewers. Today, the White City is in a particular festive atmosphere and an exceptional mobilization. The city of Tajarrah has gathered a very large majority of the Djiboutian population to enhance the history and culture of our country. A colorful day that will be engraved in the collective conscience of all those present at the interment of the Sultan of Tajarrah. It is with the blessing of the wise men and thousands of Tajurians who came to attend the ceremony that the rituals of the official interment of the 34th Dardar began with the oath of the new Sultan in front of the crouching crowd who pledged their allegiance to the new Sultan. Then the sounds of the drums commonly called Dinkara, which were deterred, resounded, marking the official interment of the new Sultan of Tajarrah. And finally, the notables and sages have prayed the words and recite verses of the Quran and blessed the new Sultan that the ceremony this morning has reached its end. The Sultan of Tajarrah is the oldest sultanate in the Horn of Africa, created more than 800 years ago. He represents an important traditional, moral, and judicial authority. He plays the role of mediator in conflicts. Let's follow. was a wonderful atmosphere. Moving on, His Excellency the President of the Republic, Mr. Ismail Umar Gilli, who pays great attention to cultural values and traditional heritage, who was accompanied by the First Lady, President of the National Union of Djiboutian Women, Madam Khadra Mahmoud Hayat, participated this morning in Tajura in the inauguration ceremony of the 34th Sultan of Tajura, Dardar Ali Habib Ahmed, and his Vizier Hamad Abdul Qadir Hamad. On arrival, the President of the Republic was received by the Prime Minister, Mr. Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed, and the Minister of the Interior, Mr. Saeed Nuh Hassan, and the Government of Tajura, Mr. Hassan Dabali Ahmed, and Chairman of the Regional Council, Mr. Umar Hussein Umar. The ceremony was also held in the presence of all members of the Djiboutian government, religious people, civil and military figures in the country, and delegations from neighboring countries. The Afar Sultanate is the oldest sultanate in the Horn of Africa, dating back more than 800 years, and represents an important traditional, moral, and judicial authority in place the rule of mediator in disputes. Let us all watch. On arrival, the President of the Republic was received by the Prime Minister, Mr. Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed, and the Minister of Interior, Mr. Saeed Nuh Hassan, and Government of Tajura, Mr. Hassan Dabil Ahmed, and the Chairman of the Regional Council, Mr. Umar Hussein Umar. The sermon was also held in the presence of all members of Djibouti government, religious, civil, and military figures in the country, and delegations from neighboring countries. As we mentioned before, the Afar Sultanate is the oldest sultanate in the Horn of Africa, dating back more than 800 years, and represents an important traditional, moral, and judicial authority in place the role of mediator in disputes. It is with the blessing of the wise men and thousands of Tajurians who came to attend the ceremony that the rituals of the official interment of the 34th Dardar began with the oath of the new Sultan in front of the crouching crowd who pledged their allegiance to the new Sultan. Then the sounds of drums commonly called Inkara, which were deteriorated, resounded, marking the official interment of the new Sultan of Tajura, and finally the notables and sages have prayed the word to, and the words to recite verses of the Quran and bless the new Sultan that the ceremony this morning has reached. Today, Wednesday, the 26th of October, is a historic day and will remain engraved in the memory of the residents of the Republic of Djibouti, in particular the Afar community, on the occasion of the coronation of the 34th Sultan of Tajarrah, Sultan Ali Habib Ahmad, and his vizier Hamad Abdul Qadir Habad. The events of the coronation ceremony of the new Sultan of Tajarrah took place with the participation of the President of the Republic, Mr. Ismail Umar Gelle, and the First Lady, President of the National Union of Djiboutian Women, Madam Khadra Mahmoud Haid. According to traditions, the holding of such an event comes 2 years after the death of the late former Sultan Abdul Qadir Hamad. After the White City gathered a large number of audiences participating in this historical moment and thousands of citizens.
دردر حمدي حبيبي بدي دردر بدي علي دردر موفيو شولا مرا ودفا دفا مرا وككا حصل فور سداي بكين فيداي على فوت ميايتوي وندر دلتا كسراي سبا عدابا دردر حمدي حبيبي بني دردر بني دردر موفيو سولا مرا ودفا دفا مرا وككاي حصل فور سداي بكين فيداي على فوت ميايتوي وندر دلتا كسراي سبا عدابا دردر حمدي حبيبي بني دردر بني دردر موفيو دردر عبد القادر بني ثم فنويتك موفيو
According to tradition, the holding of such an event comes 2 years after the death of the late former Sultan Abdul Qadir Hamad. And the White City gathered a large number of audience participating in this historical moment, and thousands of citizens from within the country as well as in the region and around the world came to this 1,000-years-old city. In this regard, the celebration was launched early this morning under the fresh skies.
وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم.
The White City lived in a special festive atmosphere and exceptional mobilization. The city of Tajarrah gathered a significant number of residents where the events of the coronation of the Tajarrah authorities strained the history and culture of our country. And now let's watch the inauguration. Now shifting our focus back to the capital, Djibouti. The Minister of Agriculture, Water, Fisheries, Livestock and Fisheries Resources, Mr. Mohammed Ahmed Awale, received an important visit from the delegations of the province Alpes-Côte d'Azur region in Paca. It was a multispectral and multidimensional delegation from the southern region of France that met with the minister, the main objective of the meeting being the promotion of various agricultural aspects in cooperation. The minister and the delegation then discussed bilateral relations, joint projects before signing the memorandum on various framework agreements. Some of these framework agreements relate to integrated water resources management in agriculture, management of facilities in hydraulic infrastructure, determination of the impacts of climate change, support to agricultural cooperation, training of managers and members of the cooperation. The visit finally ended with an exchange of gifts between the two parties before concluding with a family photo to immortalize the moment. In the same framework, the Minister of Environment and Sustainable Development, Mr. Mohammed Abdul Qadir Musa Halim, received in his office Mr. Renaud Monsieur, President of the PACA region, at the head of a strong delegation. The Minister of Environment and the President discussed the cooperation between the PACA region and the Ministry of Environment and Sustainable Development. On the occasion of President Monsieur's visit, a framework cooperation agreement was signed between the Ministry of the Environment and the PACA Regional Natural Park. This convention will facilitate, in particular, the constitution of networks of terrestrial and marine protected areas, the creation of UNESCO biosphere reserves, the development of a controlled and environmentally friendly tourism, the fight against pollution linked to waste, the training of protected area management teams. To share knowledge and exchange experiences on climate change, a host of intellectuals and researchers who have crossed their vision to environmental issues and new health challenges. These different teams also dealt with the consequences caused by climate change and its effects on agriculture, transport and mobility, energy, and the transition to sustainable societies, research, response to health crisis, prevention, and healthy lifestyles. The mission of this crossroads was to simulate a new vision in order to meet the greatest challenge facing our world, namely climate change. Today, more than ever, the Horn of Africa is experiencing the most significant effects of climate change of any region in the world, reshaping the security landscape. Droughts and climate events are affecting millions of people and threatening their livelihoods. The first edition of the National Week of Cybersecurity, organized by the National Agency of Information System of the State, better known under its short name as ANS, is in full in the city of Djibouti. After the City Hall, it is the turn of the National Police to receive the National Campaign of Cybersecurity, organized in the Director General of the National Police, and those in the presence of the Chief of Staff of the Director General of the National Police, Colonel Mahdi Aden, the Director General of the National Agency of Information System of State, Mr. Mustafa Mohammed Ismail, and several officers and sub-officers in the context of increasing crimes committed on the Internet, facilitated by widespread use of new technologies by individuals and businesses. The police plays a crucial role in the fight against cybercrime. Given the nature of cyber attacks and the motivation of cyber criminals who are varied, a strong collaboration between ANS and the National Police is essential, especially in the digital investigation and analysis of offenses related to cybercrime. During this awareness meeting, several points were discussed, namely the level of preparation of the National Police against cyber attacks, the training of security services personnel and judicial authorities, and several other crucial points. To face cybercrime, the objective of this important meeting between ANS and the National Police was to initiate a coordination framework to fight effectively against cybercrime, to neutralize our skills, to raise awareness of citizens against different types of cyber threats. The sanitary controls of the Mobile Brigade of the National Laboratory of Food Analysis, LANA, and the National Gendarmerie of the Brigade of Engela proceeded in this morning of today to the reception of the warehouse located at the industrial zone in Belos. Indeed, it was seized an important foodstuff mixed with cleaning and cosmetic products such as bleach, gel, liquid, hand washing products. Moreover, these products were outdated, falsified, and unfit for human consumption. Also, this ill-intentioned trader misled consumers by practicing acts of falsification through a sewing machine. Lala, in the presence of the National Gendarmerie, proceeded to the closing of the local in the prerogative of LANA to watch over and prevent the entry on the market of non-complement products and in the whole territory. It is with great sorrow and deep sadness that we learned of the death of former Djiboutian, a member of the parliament, Mr. Antoine Michel, died today at Pitié Hospital following a sudden death. Former member of the National Assembly of Djibouti, where he led several symposiums on the language, including a large symposium organized by the head of state, and also a permanent member of the Somali Pen born on June 15, 1950 in Dir Dawa. He left behind a large family, including 2 children, his wife, and several grandchildren. A great political personality in the struggle for independence, very well known in Djibouti, outstanding citizen during 30 years where he served the country with fervor and citizenship. Antoine Michel, former deputy at the National Assembly, was very, very well known for his behavior worthy of wisdom. Humble and generous, the deceased was also very appreciated by all citizens for his accessibility and his natural sympathy towards his Djiboutian community. In these painful circumstances, the President of the National Assembly, Mr. Muhammad Ali Humad, and the Public Prosecutor of the Republic, Mr. Jama' Suleiman Ali, address their most saddened condolences to the family of the deceased. We pray to Allah, the Most High, the Merciful, to grant him forgiveness and welcome him to his eternal paradise. Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Shifting gears towards the international scene now, Uganda has reported 9 new cases of Ebola virus diseases in its capital, Kampala, bringing the total number of known infections to 14 in the past 2 days. Ugandan health authorities of the World Health Organization said 9 people have been confirmed positive for Ebola in the greater Kampala area, bringing the total number of cases to 14 in the past 48 hours. The 9 cases are contacts of the fatal case that came from Kasanada district and died at Molgo Hospital, said Uganda's health minister. The 9 new cases and 7 family members and a health worker who attended a private clinic with his wife. Well, by this hour, beloved viewers, we finally conclude this edition. Thank you for being with us and make sure to tune in later for more. Have a wonderful evening. Take care. Thank you.